Thank you for having me today. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be here to have a chance to talk about futures mindset. Some of you may be wondering what exactly is futures mindset and how does the futures mindset contribute to hope and peace. So we have 15 minutes. We are going to make it very interactive. Actually, I'm going to run the shortest workshop I've ever run. And let's explore what this is all about. So I guess the first question I have for you is, when you think about the future, how many futures are there? In your mind, how many futures are there? Each table, would you take 1 to 2 minutes to just discuss among yourself? How many futures do you think there are? How many futures are there?
How many futures, right? Unlimited.
Infinity. I heard someone saying infinity. What do other people think? Answers.
We got two.
Yes.
The first one? Right. I suggested two. Under the premise that if we don't cope with existential threats like climate change, then we don't have a future. So there is either a future where we cope or a future that we don't.
A future that we cope with, or a future that we don't exist anymore. But that's still a future. Very good. Actually, a lot of people, if we are adopting a futures mindset, we are talking about many different possibilities of futures. A lot of people, when we think about future, we think of future as one straight line. But when we are adopting a futures mindset, we actually think about future as a cone. That if you have a starting point, it doesn't just go to one future. It's actually a cone with many different possibilities and probabilities and plausibilities. Okay, so there is your preferred future, there is the most probable future, but there are many other possibilities. I was given a letter, I was shown a letter by a good friend, written by Bruce Lee. Ah, lovely. And the letter is actually Bruce Lee's letter to him, to the future him. And it says, my definite chief aim. And he say, I, Bruce Lee, will be the first highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. It's a beautiful letter. The handwriting is beautiful. The choice of words are beautiful. It's very well written. It shows his ambition. Now, my question is this representative of futures mindset? Yes or no? Very hesitant. Yes or no? Okay, you have an answer. No, why not? What he is illustrating is his preferable future. There's only one future that he's illustrating. In future thinking, the first principle that we are looking at is that there are many S's behind future. There are many possibilities. By setting your eyes only on one future, on one possibility, actually limits the way you can deal with the future. And also causes a lot of worries and anxiety and fear and etc. There are a number of other principles and we can look at them now. The second one is future is created, not predicted. Now, many people may not agree with this. Even I myself will look at the horoscope to see what might happen next, and etc. I'm just saying that within the futures mindset, our belief is that the future is created and not predicted. So we are not trying to encourage people to predict the future. We are trying to encourage people to look at what are the possibilities and then see how we can create it, which is why the third principle comes. What you do today actually matters to tomorrow. So whatever you decide to do or not do, whoever you decide to speak to or not speak to, actually make a difference. And the fourth principle is a very interesting one. A lot of people find it really not logical. But we have experienced pandemic, and maybe we understand what this is all about. Even if there is only 1% probability happening, that means it is not the most probable future, or it's not even a likely future that you can imagine. It still means that it is a possible future. Okay? So nothing is impossible. If you imagine it and you say, hey, there's only 1% probability happening, it doesn't mean that it will not happen. It actually means that it may happen. And the last one, I find it very interesting because when I shared it with the youth, they actually felt like they feel enlightened when I talk about number 5, the future us. When we speak to our kids, we often talk about set your goal, work hard, achieve it. It is as if everything is controlled by him or her. And it depends on whether you are hardworking or not. It depends on whether you are lucky or not. It depends on whether you have the resources or not. It depends on whether you have the friends and network or not. But you are the one who can achieve it. In future thinking, we actually talk about future as a collective future. So the future does not belong to any one person. It's actually a future that belongs to all of us. All of us do it together. Therefore, if you have a preferable future, it's not just Bruce Lee trying it on his own. He actually has to engage other people around him. He has to influence others, but he also has to allow others to influence him, and which is principle number 5, futures us. One of the ways to cultivate futures mindset is to do different types of exercises. You might see some of the slides just now. We have things called signals and 4 futures and etc. We're not going to go through it today, but basically we are trying to train our mind so that we identify signals of change, even if they are weak signals. In fact, we encourage people to identify weak signals of change. We encourage people to picture different possibilities. So we're saying that at any one point, if you want to see if AI, for example, will become the future, we actually encourage you to look at different possibilities. One possibility will be AI really flourishes and it is all around us. Another possibility is, for whatever reason, AI flops. So 10 years down the road, the kids will say, what's AI? Never heard of it. Don't know what you're talking about. A third possibility is disciplined development. So some people want to push it. Some other people say, hang on, which is the case right now. And there are policies that actually limit the growth of it and etc. And some other possibilities, maybe AI is combined with some other things like robotics and etc. and turn into something totally different. So there are different possibilities that we can look at. One of my favorite exercises, which I'm going to do with you now, is actually an immersive exercise that we do time travel. We are going to time travel to 10 years down the road, 2043. Okay? So are all of you ready? We're going to go into 2043. And we are going to look at 2 scenarios. We'll look at the first scenario. And in each scenario, you will hear about it. And then what we would like you to do is to immerse yourself in that scenario and experience what emotion, what feelings do you have out of that scenario. Okay, let's do scenario A. So we go to 2043, we look at the music industry, and then, wow, Spotify still exists. Yeah. The only thing is the top hits on Spotify, the songs are all composed by AI, ChatGPT, whatever, and they are all sung by robots. Okay, get it? Understand the scenario? What do you feel? I would like 4 different emotions. We don't just stop at 1. 4 different emotions. How do you feel? Name 1. In Chinese or in English, doesn't matter. How do you feel about this scenario? Do you like it? Do you find it exciting? Do you find it cold? Are you a bit scared? A bit scary? Stressed? Very cold? Yeah, this is very cold. A bit scared? A bit stressed? Is there anyone who is excited about this? Hopefully there will be one or two. Yeah, great. Dominic is. Yeah, there will be one or two who are excited. We don't have to explain why we're excited. But typically, when you face a future scenario like that, it is not a simple one-statement emotion that you feel. Typically, it's actually quite complex, and which is why we would like 4 emotions. Okay, so we come back to 23 now. Actually, it's 20 years later, it's not 10 years later. Now we go on to scenario B. So we travel again, we do our time travel again. It's 2043. And this time, it's still the music industry, but it's a slightly different scenario. We went to a different future. And in this future, we find that songs, so the music and the lyrics are still written by human beings, except that everything goes to a marketplace. So you have no idea who writes the song and who writes the lyrics anymore. But the nice thing is that you can actually mix and match yourself, okay? You can pick the music you like, you can buy the lyrics you want, you can put in your own music, you can put in your lyrics, but you have no idea who writes what anymore. And you can actually make your own production. And because the production and the post-production are AI enabled, so anyone can sing like a professional. And all of us will publish our songs with an avatar. Okay. So all the singers are avatar singers. So songs are still written by human beings, songs are still sung by human beings, but AI enabled it to make it better, and everyone publishes songs behind an avatar, so you have no idea who sings it. Anyway, they sing well because the AI helped. Okay, now 4 emotions. How do you feel about this future?
Everyone can be.
Yeah, so then everyone can be a singer, so you're excited by
That's
that.
what you enjoy.
Yeah, as long as you enjoy it. What do other people think? Don't block yourself. Okay, I noticed that some of you just want to put a stone face because this is too scary for you, probably. Don't block yourself. Immerse yourself into it. If this is a real future, how do you feel? How do you feel about it? Not very good.
Not very good.
Why not? Because you sing.
Not only I am a professional.
Okay. So what about the professionals, right? They would feel like, what's my position? What's my role? Where are we? Okay, now the final question comes. If we are the entire world, okay, so we decide the future because we are the entire world. If we only have 2 futures to choose from, scenario A, where AI write all songs, robots sing them, or scenario B, we write the song, we sing them, just that you don't know who's who. Which future do you prefer? And you have to choose one. Okay? If there are only 2 futures and we are the whole world, which future do you prefer? How many of you choose A? How many of you choose B? Okay.
At least we are humans.
Yeah. And that's what future thinking is about. I think a lot of people are afraid that scenario A is going to happen. But if it is based on this particular world, it's unlikely that scenario A is going to happen. In fact, if I present you scenario C, D, E, F, G, we will finally come to a scenario where all of us feel comfortable, where all of us feel like this is our future. It's not just any one person's future, where we all find our role, we know where we will fit in, and that's what future's mindset is about. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.